Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the second channel. Inside of today's video, we've got the NA Grand Final of the monthly final. Tribe Gaming versus BC Gaming again. Is this 3 times in a row? I'm pretty sure this is 3 times in a row. So yeah, the only big difference here is that Patchy is subbing it in for Vegito, I forgot the top of my head. But yeah, Patchy is retired actually. He's barely played any Brawl Stars, I don't think, this year. I think he has been starting to play a lot more Brawl the past month or so. I think I've seen him upload a bit more on his channel. And just on Twitter being active, etc. So he's filling in because, of course, Vegeta was banned for whatever reason. I think probably a mini account or something like that. That always happens with a bunch of pros this year. So Patchy, from what I've watched, has been absolutely insane. In the semi-final, he clutched up so incredibly well with Meeple and making some really game-changing plays. Patchy just has the ice. I have no idea why he even considered retiring. I know he wanted to do more in real-life stuff and, you know, pursue a career there, which is fair enough because he obviously has the brains for it. But I just thought, whilst you're at your peak and you're playing so well, you know, you've only got one life, right? When are you ever going to be a pro player again in your career? It could try and do both. That's what I was trying to tell him at the World Finals last year. It's really sad that he retired, but hopefully he's got some free time now and he can unretire, because getting to the Grand Finals, this is a full glaze Patchy, by the way, at the moment. It's also his birthday on this day, but yeah, getting to the Grand Finals for the first time after retiring. You know, other people have tried in the past, like, I don't know, shade to them, like Space Station, Pioneers, etc. And Patchy just turns up straight away, bang, in the finals again. So also, wait, I don't even get to see the draft because I was waffling that much. But Tribe Gaming, of course, winning the last 2 monthly finals. BC coming second the last 2 monthly finals. So they want to try and get revenge here. One thing that I find really strange about BC is when you look at, I'll try and get the stats up for the second set, but when you look at how much teams prepared, BC are actually like the least prepared in terms of scrims out of like the top NA teams, which is funny to me, because obviously normally the teams that prepare better, draft, etc., just better overall. So Tribe are going to go with the Finks here with that gadget as well, which is kind of crazy. A lot of teams are going Hank here, even on out in the open. You tell me, like, I don't think I could work this with randoms, but it's just really good to force the opponents all the way back. And I suppose, I mean, I didn't say how the draft went, but Kit and Ollie should be pretty good into this, to be fair. But then again, if the Angelo taps, what can they really do? So RBM's going to push up all the way here. It's going to really struggle against this RT if they're tapping. Evek's going to super on in. Does waste his super a little bit though, but so does Zeus. RBM's going to push up again here. He's just going to try and mount enough of a push to build up his super again. So really well played from him. It's up to Zeus to try and get some good taps onto either of them. So I've actually watched good Angelo players like Angel Boy, Chaos, and a few more play Angelo, and I feel like I might have learned how to play them a bit better, but unfortunately Patchy goes down. Well, unfortunately for BC, and then Zeus picks up the kill. So of course I'm rooting for Tribe, by the way. But it's just good to see Patchy come back. I'd have liked this small thing in my head be like, oh, if Patchy won, that would have been a really cool storyline. But of course we want Tribe to lock things up because they've already got Brawl Cup. They haven't got a ton to play for, but of course trying to get as much points as possible to try and secure World Final spot as quickly as possible is their aim for sure. So again here, the thing's going to be pretty good against all of this. I think Zeus using jump. He is using jump against Kit. Okay, I really like that choice. I think still people, even against Kit and Ollie, they would use Pierce, which I just don't agree with. So Hank's got hypercharge here, so has the Angelo. So Zeus going to try and get some good taps in, and that's going to force him all the way back. So this is why Hank's good, because if you force him back behind this wall, what can he really do? Like, he can just sit here, get free, match up as much as possible. Again, Evek's going to go pretty weak here. I think RBM's going to pop hypercharge. It's going to get so much value. Their hypercharge super as well, and there's nothing they can really do. So I think this, I mean, Tribe Gaming, the thing is, right, so what I saw in the semi-finals, some people were complaining about SSG and like some of the drafts, etc. But I don't even think like drafts were that big of a problem against Tribe. I just think mechanically Tribe are just better than everyone else right now. It's just plain and simple. They look just a cut above everybody in NA. Like, it doesn't even look close for the most part. Only BC Gaming have kind of got close, or just the ones fighting them in the finals. No other team have really looked like, to be honest, I think the closest game was the semi-final from what I've seen. I've not actually watched this final, by the way, because I fell asleep because it was very late my time. But yeah, the quarterfinal was definitely the closest game for me. But draft, I don't know, draft doesn't look completely out of BC's favor, but when Tribe, they scrim so much, they learn the drafts, etc. And if BC, I feel like if BC took things more seriously, they could really be one of the best teams. Well, they already are one of the best teams in this region, but you know what I mean. So Patch is going to get taken down here, and I just think Tribe are just too calculated as a team. Evex just shooting in the corner there, which is hilarious, just admitting defeat in that moment. I feel like everybody's just scared of Tribe because they're just so calculated. Again, like watching them in the semi-final, it was just beautiful to see the way that they were playing, the pinches, the togetherness as a team. They just look like a force to be reckoned with. And I'm excited because I'm going to the Brawl Cup in Texas. I'm excited to root for them. And I really want, even though I'm not from NA, of course, I really want NA to, I do want them to make a statement. I would like for NA to win. Okay, good jump there from Diego game, and that should be the round win surely here. Yeah, okay. All the same is I'd like NA to win one World Finals. I would, especially rooting for Tribe. It just would be cool. And NA kind of fell off a little bit last year. I mean, when this Tribe roster was on Elevate, they still looked really good, but just overall, NA just didn't have the impact. RBM actually did miss his super there, so that was a bit of a chance for BC to go in and clean things up, but really good kill and then jump out from Zeus. And just feel like, again, they're just playing it so picture perfect. I think Patchy knows that he can't win that, so he just goes in and just dies. I feel like they just know they're going to lose at this moment. So that's going to be the first set going to Tribe. Let's jump into set 2. All right, guys, jumping into set number 2, we've got Hot Zone Ring of Fire. So again, I've not really seen any of these drafts. We see the Bow Band. Bow is very good. There's a few brawlers I will be trying out in my ranked streams recently. Also, in terms of content, guys, I believe the Hyperchargers aren't coming out for a couple more weeks. I thought they were going to come out today. So a little bit disappointed. I'm hoping the balance changes come out in the next few days, or else we're really dry on content on this channel. So yeah, we'll see how it goes this week with content. I mean, I guess the new season, the Brawl Pass comes out, so I mean, I'll have to make some unserious content. Maybe we'll have to see. But anyways, back onto Brawl Esports here. So if we go with the Stu, Patchy's Stu, we all know about Patchy's Stu. B first pick is really hard to go into, considering we've got a bow and a bell band. Some of the best counters to B are out, so I'm interested to see how BC respond to this. Again, I could probably learn a thing or two here. I always love how in Evex's room, well, normally Vegeta is there as well, but there's always so many people crowded in their room, which it's just so funny to see. I just love to see it. Right, so we'll go with Carl. Carl, again, pretty good into, well, not, I'll take good into B, to be honest, because you can one-shot B with a fire gadget. Carl's just always good. How can you never go wrong with Carl? So now I'm interested to see Stu, Carl, how do Tribe Gaming counter this? So maybe My Eye's a Buster, maybe a, trying to think top of my head, like Buster. I'm thinking Straight the Way. I'm thinking Chester. Oh yeah, Chester. How did I not think Chester? Chester should probably have been picked as soon as possible in the draft. And not many people are going Janet, by the way, so I feel like I should stop banning Janet in my ranked games. I mean, Janet's still really good, but better on like bushier maps, etc. So if we go with a Chester, we've got 2 tank counters here. We need a control brawler or we need an aggressive brawler. We can't go with another damage brawler, or else we'll get counted out pretty easily. So we could go with maybe like an Ollie here. We could go with Buster again with some aggression. We could go with like a Penny. We could go with a Draco. Okay, so Draco's his tank slash kind of control brawler in a way, because he just takes up so much space with his super and everything like that. I think that's a really good draft. There's a lot of HP on the side of Tribe Gaming. It's going to be hard for the Stu and the Carl to deal with this Draco. So what would you go into this? This is the problem here. So of course I need a tank counter, and that we could go with, I mean, you can't go with a tank because you're going to feed the B and Chester too much. This is the problem. And we're not going to get a lot of zone time. So we're going to go with 8-bit. Okay, 8-bit kind of makes sense here, to be fair. I do like that 8-bit pick, because they've got a brawler with a lot of HP, so they can sit on the zone. They've got a lot of damage, but at the same time, it's not like the best draft in the world. Some people like Carl into Chester. I guess it can work, but then Chester's going to feed a lot of supers from this composition. I don't know how I'd feel. I would like the Tribe composition still here. It feels like they've got everything. They've got B, they've got Chester, 2 of the best brawlers on this map. They've got Draco for zone time. Again, it's not the best Draco game, to be fair. He's got a lot of tough matchups, but with RBM, probably the best tank player in the world, should be able to make it work. So let's see how he plays it off. So Diego Game is going to push in straight away here. Going to see a B gadget. Again, it's going to take a little while for 8-bit to push in. I don't really understand that gadget choice from Evex. Personally, I'd only use that gadget in Heist. I guess he thinks he gets no value with a TP, but I still think there's value with a TP everywhere. So Patchy's going to go in behind here. Zeus already tapping a lot with the B. Diego Gamer does get the kill onto RBM. The first interaction will be a little bit easier for him. He has got his hypercharge already as well, so he's been playing it really, really well. The 8-bit turret is set up, and the Stu as well. Actually, Stu in combination with 8-bit. Why didn't I commentate on that? That is always a really good synergy because, of course, like, see, you've got the boosted booster star power, and then you've got this Stu turret to help him out. So Luffy does get a little bit lucky there with the gadget to get that extra bit of reload speed. But again, that gadget just forces you in such a bad position. I think if you didn't have that gadget EVX, like, of course you miss one piece of ammo, but then with your next piece of ammo, you can change the direction of your shot, but you can't change the direction of your shot with that gadget. So I just don't like it. I really don't like it. Even in Heist, some people don't even use that gadget because it just locks you in a position. So Luffy doing a really good job of just pressing up. And you just look at the mechanics, by the way, and how good Tribe are at the game. Full glaze. Whenever I'm watching them, their positioning, just the way they present themselves on the map, it just looks so much better than everyone else. It really does. I don't know whether it's like a mentality thing. I don't know whether it's just mechanically better than everybody else. I don't want to say too much because I might seem too biased, but this is just looking too good. Just looking way too good. Seriously, free. Like, RBM just looks bored at this point in time. He just looks completely unfazed. He looks completely unfazed. That's what mentality you want, by the way, when you compete. I do like teams with personality and like the heightened emotions, etc. It makes for good viewing. But at the same time, from what I've watched the past few years, it's the kind of cone-styled killers that makes the best competitive players. It is the people that like learn how to control their emotions, just because then nothing phases them in game. You can see here Luffy with a really good pinch there. Does get lucky with that super. Patchy's zooming, by the way, but Zeus just manages to stay on the zone. And they're just doing such a good job. Just look at how confident Zeus is there. Most players would just back away from that, but Zeus is pushing into it and just juking around it. That is beautiful to see. So Luffy got to go straight in the middle here. You know, he's got a lot of HP on his side, so he can just slowly dwindle the percentages down. Zeus going to push up all the way into the 8-bit, but still, even after like BC... Oh, that's a great hypercharge super there from the chest. That's going to be the triple kill from Luffy. Wow. But you know what I mean? Like, he's just swarming around on the zone, trying to get as much percentage as possible, because even if he goes down, he's getting zone percentage, and then just to do that, it just, yeah, it looks... BC just look chalked. They really do look chalked. I think also a big thing to mention is that they would have done pretty much no preparation for the finals, because I think basically all BC needed to do was win the quarterfinals or even semi-finals. I don't even know. I think it was the quarterfinals just to make it through to Brawl Cup, sorry. So the preparation would have been limited here, but I just still think they're a cut above. Of course, they've got a substitute, right? So it's not going to be their strongest lineup in terms of synergy, etc. But it's just so convincing from Tribe. They just look bored. They want to get this over with. So let's jump into the third set. All right, guys, jumping into the third set. Then we have Brawl Super Beach. So what I was just thinking before this round was just like, I'm kind of like, I'm very, very happy about Tribe dominating, right? I don't want that to change, but I'm also sad from a viewer perspective. Most people, you know, they think of NA as one of the closest regions in a sense. I mean, in the previous years, it kind of was like the same winners over and over again. But you get what I mean? Like, most teams have a chance in NA. There's always like a few select, like 3-4 good teams. But this year, it's just one team a cut above the rest. We probably need a bit more from the other teams going into the second split, but of course they'll bring it, because with the second split, the thing that I like in a sense is that I don't like double points. It should have been 1.5 times points, but essentially here Tribe Gaming will have a big lead if they win this one, but it won't matter as much because there's double points going into the second split after Brawl Cup, which is in a month's time. So essentially, like, any team that wins the next monthly final, it will be the equivalent of winning 2 monthly finals. You know what I mean? So I don't really like that, but let's talk about the draft quickly here. So we've seen Chester early on in the draft, which is always one of the best first picks, no matter what, in Brawl Ball, Gem Grab, Gem 4. You always just want to pick Chester into everything. He has no bad matchups with the Hypercharge, so they go with a Willow, which is a very, very interesting take here. Willow, you don't see being played too much. You really don't. I don't really like the Willow too much, but they're going to make it work, aren't they? The Tribe. Their Tribe. Let's see what Evex cook against them. Even I'm yawning at this point. So Chester against Max is a decent matchup, by the way. We've seen that a lot in the past few years. To go with a Shade. Okay, that is very interesting. I think Shade will have a good matchup into this. I think. I don't really know. I mean, I'm not. That's one Brawl I'm always like, maybe I need to play more Shade. I'm always unsure on how it will work out in most cases, because you're up against Chester, he can break open the walls, and he deals a lot of damage. Up against Ash as well. Like, I know Shade's gonna get a lot of supers from the Ash, but still Ash deals a lot of damage. So I don't know how to think of this one. I think the draft is definitely winnable for BC, but if they're going Willow, like, is Willow going to have a good matchup against any of these? I don't even know. Willow will get some good goal scoring opportunities though against this Jackie. He's going to use a dive gadget as well to buy him a little bit of time, and he does actually get the kill onto Jackie there. Fair play, fair play. So, but RBM on the Ash is always going to be a scary proposition. But the problem is, the longer the game goes on, I think it's actually scarier for BC, because the Chester Hypercharge is just too good. It just automatically equals a goal. So Willow's going to get the kill there. Wow, really well played from Zeus there. And now he can push up with his super. Luffy's going to push in as well. Now they give the ball to Willow. I think that's pretty much a free goal. Maybe a little bit rushed there, and BC managed to get on the counter offensive, but RBM just comes in, sweeps in with his hypercharge, cycles through to another hypercharge super, and that was just absolutely brutal. BC thought they'll get away with it. RBM just says no with his Ash. It's actually interesting to see that pretty much everyone is using the shield gear here, especially even RBM. That is very, very interesting. I wonder why they're using the shield gear. Maybe it changes a certain interaction. I don't even know. But that's going to be the kill there from the Hypercharge Super. He's already got a Hypercharge Super after 1 minute, but we just need to get the ball in a good position here. And Zeus is just going to manage to walk this one in. Okay, so Willow is good on Super Beach. Willow is good, but I'm always like, surely another throw is better. But maybe I'm learning something. Actually, I'm not learning anything, because Super Beach isn't in the rotation. But a gadget here from Zeus, but he's not going to have the damage to deal with Patchy jumping in here with his gadget. That's a big downside about using dive, is that, yeah, it wastes a lot of resources from the other team, but then when it comes down to someone pressuring you, you've got no quick burst damage from Willow. But here should be another easy goal from Zeus. There's nothing they can do. If the Willow gets in that situation, there's nothing they can do, because the problem is with their composition is that they're all brawlers that want to get close to Willow. You know what I mean? So there's no brawlers that can like chip Willow away and stop her from getting in that position. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know anymore. I wonder what finger sleeve Zeus is using, by the way. I've not seen those ones, but Luffy's wearing the Razor ones. Yeah, I need some more Razor ones. Anyways, so Zeus again doing a great job with Diego Gamer, wasting a lot of time in that matchup. Patchy's getting some really good beams onto Luffy there. Gets another kill onto RBM. Patchy is absolutely beaming. And bro, why did Patchy retire? I just have no idea when he's still this good at the game. Okay, I guess personal reasons, like me myself, it was personal reasons why I retired. But still, like, come on, Patchy, you're young. I'm old. I'm an unk. You still got it in you. Come on. So RBM, he's going to go down to Diego Game there. Luffy's going to push forward, which I guess just makes sense. He's trying to get some more value out and get his super. Evex having to use his super as well, which isn't the best, but he's going to be in a good position to score here. Diego Gamer with his hypercharge. Got to rush in and does get the goal. And they do get around here. They do get around. So this is a big weakness to Willow, is that Willow just can't defend. So if BC can get into some good positions, they can definitely win a set off of Tribe. So you can see here, like you can see how the vibes aren't too serious. They're just enjoying themselves. That's why I like NA. Like a lot of the times they just joke around, like they mess around with competitions. They're just having fun, it looks like. EU's always so serious, like I swear. So incredibly serious. Right, so Zeus again on Diego Gamer. Seems to be having a good matchup, but Jackie does have very limited range, right? So as long as he's keeping Jackie chipped down, then that's okay. But here we go again. Good super there from Luffy. A bit lucky with what super he got. But now they can just run that in. Oh, Evex was one shot away from killing RBN there. A little bit unfortunate, but now the max speed. We do also see, this reminds me of the match of Luminosity versus, was it Zeta at the time? Not last World Finals, to the World Finals before, with the max. Whenever I see that, I just think of the screenshot of where Charles just barely missed. And then because of that miss, that allowed Zeta to go forward and win the World Finals. It's just crazy how maybe even Luminosity could have been the people winning the World Finals that year. Anyways, it's going to be a good super from Zeus. Going to force them in a backwards position. The pinch from Jackie. Again, I'm just thinking, like, Jackie's a good brawler. It obviously works in scrims. But it's been played so much. Fair play to Tribe here. They win this. I think everybody is pretty much friends here. They're just all in agreement. Well, Tribe are just too good. Yeah. Tralalea, tralala as well from Zeus. It's just too much aura. But yeah, RBM doesn't even look happy. I mean, you love to see it. You love to see it. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Really, really, really dominant display from Tribe. Didn't even look close in pretty much any game they played today, which you love to see. We're hoping to see this dominance continue in the Brawl Cup. I can't wait to see the Brawl Cup. I'm going to be watching it live next month. Hopefully I can get as much breakdown for you guys as possible when I'm there. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.